Hey everyone, welcome to Bsoulight. How's everybody doing? Got my little twisters going all over the place. I don't care. Um, come on in, come on in, come on in. I have my glasses on because I'm getting ready to go deep. Get ready to go deep. Shall we go deep? Let's go deep, shall we? What do you think? We should go deep. Yes, yes, yes. Once again, I was busy with the room. I still have a massive amount of mess behind me. I after yesterday when I had the headache and the stress from trying to figure out, I just finally said, I'm not doing this. I'm going to go take a nice hot bath, and I want to teach you something. Hold on a second. Take a look at the window. Just look over there. Yes, you're looking at the window again. Scott is looking at the window again. Yes, you're looking at the window again. Here we go. All right. All right. So I have a lot of info to share with you. And thanks for your wonderful comments. And someone got upset. But I think it was more like an AI person or something. But thanks for that. Thanks, been in combat. What's the matter? But no worries. Welcome to the Bsoulight tribe. Hello, my tribe people. Come on in. You know I come here and I say how I feel and I speak my truth as priestess, as sun dancer. Okay? I say it like it is. I am not coming here to sugarcoat anything because that's not what I'm here to do. Here to share my info. You can partake of it. Take what works for you. You don't like it? That's okay. Click off and go find your channel that you want to be on. Bsoulight is for those who are rising to the occasion to wake up, connect the dots. I am not here, as the Shira puts it. I love you to death, Shira. I am not here playing checkers. I'm here to play chess. I am not here for a pearl. I'm here for the diamond. The diamond of knowledge, wisdom, shine brighter in all essence of your being, using your free will. Your free will. Having your free will. Okay? We got crazy stuff going on. And I think what makes everything so crazy right now, I personally, in 54 years of being on this planet and moving into almost, I can honestly say, being a licensed nurse, California for about, can I really say 20, 28, 20, 30 years maybe? I could probably do that. But here's the thing. Not working in the hospitals, those days are been gone. But I have never seen so much trauma, fear in people's eyes. And there's so much of that going on. Thank you. So the trauma is not just neighborhood, it's not just nation, it's worldwide trauma. Post-traumatic stress syndrome. the waiting for the shoe to drop, the not knowing. And here's the one that we have all become very familiar with, and using this word. And I really, this subject that we're getting into tonight, and I really want you to get pen and paper because I'm getting ready to drop on you some info about, we talked about how do you live the quantum life, living quantumly, and then how are you loving yourself, the energy that you're presenting to yourself. Then now I'm going to take you through the virus thoughts, your virus of thoughts. What are we saying that's toxic to ourselves, and what is our thinking? How are we holding that thinking? So here's the deal. Because we are experiencing this pandemic that has a lot of underlining things with it. And the reason why I say this, and I want you to hear me when I say this, and I want you to look at my face when I say this. Do you know what is being said is truth or not? We've been going through this for quite some time. And 1 minute something is being said like this, and the next minute something being said like this. Here's the thing. Truth, when you speak truth, stays the same. It doesn't deviate. When you speak truth, there's no falsified energy behind it because you're speaking your truth. You're speaking from spirit. You're speaking from heart. You're speaking from truth. You're speaking from knowledge. You're speaking your truth. It stays the same. False energy keeps changing, keeps taking you on a up and down. It makes you second guess, rethink. Now, I've shared with all of you, those of you that have been following me for some time. I'm priestess, I am sun dancer, and I'm connected with Tribe of Taino. Here's the thing. I was always taught by many of my teachers, and one teacher in particular would always say, hello, darling, hello, would always say, can you tell the difference between a truth and a lie? I would always look at her like, what the hell are you talking about? Truth and a lie. Can you tell the difference between a truth and a lie? This is where we are. I've been saying this. I've been teaching about this. Can you tell the difference? And I only teach things from what I've experienced and what I walk, which is another reason why I always encourage people to teach what you have gone through in your life, because that makes you the teacher of it, because you have experienced it. You have medicine to pass on to someone. We're getting ready to get deep because my head is tingling and the ancestors are here. Here we go. Get ready. So you have medicine to give to people. And it is about what you've experienced. Some of us have experienced death in our hands. Some of us have walked in places, in relationships where we were abused, either by loved ones, either by parents, either by people that we trusted. Some of these things we have walked through. We have walked through those drug addictions, walked through those alcohol addictions, all of those things. When you come out on the end of it, you hold the medicine. You hold the teaching. You hold what you experienced, what you went through as medicine to help somebody else. And when I say medicine, I mean that as an energetic healing part that you're giving to someone. Hey, darling. Hello, hello. That's what I mean by medicine. That's what I mean by you're giving you're sharing that medicine. Everybody has a life story to share, an experience that you went through that you now can help somebody else with. No matter how painful it is, how deep it went, whatever that might have been, whatever road or path that you walked on at that time, that's your medicine. That's your medicine. And there's going to be a lot of medicine that's going to be coming through for a lot of people to step up and start using, start inviting, start teaching others, start sharing with others. It's not about waiting for your time when you're going to do something. Stop waiting. That's so old. That's so, Solara's trying to come in here. That's so old within itself. Waiting. Waiting for what? You don't have time to be waiting. Like I said, life is too short. It really is. You're here right now. You might not be here tomorrow. You could be here maybe the whole day tomorrow, half a day tomorrow, maybe just a few minutes into tomorrow. But what you have is right here, right now, which is why it's called the quantum life, which is why we have to really honor ourselves in our truth of who we are. Okay, what are we saying to ourselves in our thoughts that's causing our bodies not to be in harmony with ourselves? What are we saying to ourselves? How are we living in that fear? How are we living in that, reliving in that trauma? I've had really good sessions today with people today. Thank you so much. I love when I can see your faces on FaceTime. I love when I can talk to you, however I need to communicate with you. I love that. But at the same time, when we disconnect and I sit back and I go take care of myself and cleanse and everything, I feel your pain. And it's not me taking it on. Trust me, I'm not taking it on. I feel what you're dealing with. I feel what that feels like. And I think today's topic is more like, once again, revisiting that one thing called the apology. Waiting on that apology. So we're going to talk about that again. But first, I want you to get a pen and paper, because I want you to hear this about your thought virus. Okay, your first thought virus. Now remember, we already talked about what are the main things that you want to, let me go back to my notes. Since I wrote so many. So the main things that we're talking about when we're looking at how we live this quantum life itself, we live with a vision. That's your first one. You got to have a vision. Okay. And one of the words, I know all of you are hearing this, and this is sticking out, and I want you to think about this word, because I don't want you saying this to yourself anymore. Okay. Are you ready? Surviving. I'm just surviving. I'm surviving to get through. I'm just surviving. We're just trying to survive. We're trying to make it through. We're trying to survive. Stop saying that. Stop saying that. Surviving. Yes, on this earth, only the fit survive. Yeah, the fighters survive. I got that. But sometimes the way we use that word, the energy of that word, surviving, is really kind of putting us in a precarious place with that word. because words have energy. So every time when you say, I'm just trying to survive, I'm just trying, stop trying to survive. Live. Live with purpose. Live with intention. Live with knowingness. Because when you're saying, I'm just trying to survive, you're not connected to yourself. You're not connected to what you're doing. You're connected to fear. You're connected to trauma. You're connected to energy that keeps you in that mode. Surviving. No. I want you to live. I want you to live with vision. I want you to live with passion. I want you to live with intention. I want you to live with your dreams and bringing them into fruition, because you are a creator. Do you think creator sits around in the universe as fast as it is, sits around and says, oh, I think I'm just surviving, trying to figure out how I'm going to make Earth and all the stars, and I'm surviving. Yes, I'm going to create man in my image, and I'm surviving how to do. No, don't say that no more. Take that off your list. Now, yes, when we are fighting diseases, we will kick into that word and say that word. We will say those words of, I survived cancer, I survived this, or I survived this. That word, surviving, that means that was something that was occurring that you lived through, you survived through. Got it. But when you're living your life, you're living your life. It is not about you're trying to survive in your life. You're living your life. Somewhere along the line, we have calibrated into this place of surviving. Even in this time of a pandemic, no, we're not surviving. We're fighting it and we're living. Because that's what it's going to take. We're not playing checkers with it. We're freaking playing chess and we're going to win. So know that this is where you have that vision. This is where you have that passion. This is where you move into that place of having a clarity of what your vision is. Then you have your discipline. Then you move into that place of gratitude. Being thankful for being who you are, being thankful for the moment, being thankful for the energy of being connected to your passion, to your soul, to your destiny, to your will, to your divinity of who you are. I told you guys we're going to get a little bit deep because Spirit's been sitting on me with this and I've been like, oh, I don't know. So that's what you really want that to represent. So now let's talk about this. Your thought virus. And I love that. Your thought virus. How do your thoughts become those virus? Let's look at the fact that the first one is going to be that subconscious behavior. That subconscious pattern, how it's set into motion. What's your thought virus on that? How are you subconsciously saying things to yourself? What's that thought virus? What's the subconscious thought playing in the back? Oh, I really need to get out of this relationship that's not really working for me. But maybe it'll change. Maybe we won't get in a fight again. Maybe it'll change. No. That's a thought virus. That's subconscious running around in your mind. Your next one is limits and thoughts. What's your limiting thoughts? Because your limiting thoughts are going to be things that deals with, I'm not good enough, only if it could be mine, or I got to try to maybe get myself out of the box, get outside the box. And what is that going to look like? Am I going to take actions towards something? but I'm limiting myself on that, the limiting thought virus, okay? The Gemini thought virus is when we make the clown face and we go into this place of the game of shame and guilt. And when we activate from that place of shame and guilt. Okay, that is your Gemini thought virus, because you got the fear and the guilt, and these two kind of combat and fight against each other, but they're still not the high frequency energies that's going to support you. They're still thought virus. You're going to be shaming yourself or guilting yourself. Maybe even both. Okay. And then your last one, actually the fourth one, is called the killer thought virus. And the killer thought virus is, how does this virus destroy the host? And I like this one because this one literally goes into that making you feel helpless, making you feel like self-destructiveness and behavior, self-hate, and a slow suicide to the self is that energy of a killer thought virus. How are you killing yourself off slowly? It's that thought virus. The last one, and I like this one, it deals with the emotional thought virus. And this one ties into cancer. Remember the word cancer. Cancer cells. Cancer means to eat at oneself. How is one eating at oneself? Okay, so the thought virus of this starts off in the subconscious mind before it roots down into the physical part of the body. Okay, so we're dealing with past anger, rage, anxiety, panic, fear, and terror. And these are all energies that take on that energy of that emotional thought virus. Okay, so when you're living from that, where we are currently with this pandemic, today I dealt with the energy of, oh, we're going back through another lockdown. So when we hear that, we automatically, I could just see the panic on people's face. I just opened my business. I just started back. Now we got to stop. We got to step back and it's the stepping back, going forward, up, stepping back, going forward, stepping back, going. And yes, it is one of these things that we're doing because right now we have a dual energy of we're playing chess. Who's telling the truth? Who's not telling the truth? Maybe it's a mixture of both of them that's washing over everything, and we're just trying to make sense out of everything that's going on. But your truth is here. Your truth is here. That's where your truth is. Your truth is in your heart. Your heart will not mislead you. It really won't. Your gut feelings won't mislead you. When you get that gut feeling, not do something, not move towards something, not be around in certain areas or doing certain things, you get that instinct, that intuition. That is that sharpness. That is your living, not your surviving. That's your living. When we're living, we're staying in the moment. We're staying in that truth. We're staying in who we are when you're living. When you're in that living place. And that's where we need to be pulling our energies right now, in that living. How do you really want to live? How do you really want to be? You're living when you're breathing in the breath of life. You're living. And as that one thing, when we go out and we partake and we cover and we're shielding and all these things, we need to make that conscious decision when we come back to our own sacred place to breathe in, inhaling, exhaling. Rather you do it in a yoga, rather you do it in a meditation, rather you do it while you're sitting next to a river, or rather you do it just being in your own home, sitting on the end of your bed, or being in your bathtub. Taking that consciousness and breathing life back into yourself. Giving yourself your own CPR. Your care, your physical, your restoration of yourself. Okay? Giving yourself your own CPR. Because that's where we are. And we're just in July. Wait till August rolls around. But the big twist is coming when the actual true heavy flu season kicks in that normally starts in October. It'll be a little earlier this year, starting in September. This is the time now to really just bump up your immune system. This is the time now to really look at your diet. This is the time now to look at how you're hydrating. This is the time now to look at where you're living, how you can make your sanctuary stronger for yourself so that when you're in your sanctuary, it's built up with that energy that allows you to really keep it strong so that you're not bombarded with so much positive ions to the point to where it's really wearing and tearing your system down. Okay? So, let me check my notes. One of the energetic things is that we as people do find ourselves changing ourselves for other people. Just because we want to change ourselves for other people. Stop doing that, please. Please be yourself. You do not need to change yourself for other people to accommodate and be in that. Please be yourself. When you are yourself, you're being your true, authentic self. You're being your truth. Okay? All right. So we talked about those particular mind viruses. And your mind viruses, when you catch yourself in that flow and you're thinking like that, you want to take the time and snap that out. Catch it, turn it off, send it out. What do you want to bring into yourself to activate? Instead of being anxiety, how about being in your power? Instead of being in a place of anger, how about releasing that and surrendering that anger and letting go of that? What are you really angry about? Can you journal on that? Can you talk to somebody about that anger? Can you get that out? What are you really angry about? There are some people that are just sitting on that anger. What are you angry about? What are you upset about? What are you mad about? Get that out. So let's back up to that word apology, because I came up today. Let's look at this. Now, I talked about this before. Some people are just waiting on an apology. They're waiting on an apology. Okay. So here we go. I want you to think about a recent incident. Could have happened several months ago. Could have happened a year ago. Could have just happened today. And you wanted an apology for something. Okay? You needed the person to take ownership for something that they did or didn't do. And they needed to apologize to you for it. So I want you to just visualize that person. And I want you to visualize the situation that was at hand that you felt that you needed to get an apology for. And all I want you to do is just think and hold the energy of that. Just the energy. Hold the energy of that. That's all I want you to do is think of the energy of it. And now with that energy of it, visualize that person and visualize the fact that you are seeing their soul energy talking to you. And their soul higher self is the one that's really going to give you the apology, because the lower self, that's not the higher self, that comes from the ego place, won't do the apology, because it wants to negotiate. It wants to see if it can hold on to victimization or you're wrong, I'm right, and all that stuff. The higher self is going to come from that place of a knowingness and a higher self of balance. So you're only going to talk to the higher self of the person, place, thing, or situation. Okay? So just take it a nice deep breath. Breathe that in. Exhale it out. And all I want you to do is just visualize this brilliant white light that's right above that person's head or that situation. And I want you to just visualize that white light. And just allow that light that is above the person, place, thing, or situation, allow that light to be the one that's actually going to give you the apology. Because only the higher self will do that. So just visualize receiving the words, I apologize for whatever I said or did to you. I apologize. And just allow that to come to you. And then at the same time, after you feel that energy being received from the higher source energy above that person, place, thing, or situation, now I want you to say to yourself and take your right hand and place it over your heart and say, I accept your apology on all levels of my being from your true essence, higher self light. And breathe that in. Exhale it out. And then release your hand. Done. If you have to do that 7 times, 3 times, 5 times, do it. Because in the end, you're dealing with the higher self. You're dealing with the higher energy, the higher consciousness of the person, place, thing, or situation. You're getting past all the muck and mire of the other stuff. So you're not dealing with that. Does that make sense? So that's a little bit easier to deal with when we keep sitting back, waiting on an apology. I've gotten several apologies from people who've done me wrong in the past. And it never ceased to amaze me when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen when that apology comes in. That's how the apology energy comes in, and it helps to bring in that healing. Does that make sense? Okay. So now we're going to move forward to something else. Remember when I was telling you about it takes 2,500 gallons of oxygen that we breathe every day. And remember I was talking about those ions, when we have those positive ions. And here's what I want you to know. And I want you to sit with this and think about what I'm saying. And then I'm going to close this up and talk about sulfur real quick. But I want you to think about this. Some common physical effects of being in a positive ion environment are, and I get this from my trusty book called The Sacred Place by Denise Lin. It's one of my best reference books that I use for feng shui. When I'm looking to move into another place, I'm feng shuiing the hell out of that place. Okay? So here are some of those physical symptoms. feeling extraordinarily tired and sleepy, having trouble getting up in the morning, waking up feeling heavy and foggy head, start yarning by midday and feeling the need for a nap, depression, feeling tense and irritable, frequent headaches, hay fever, and allergies, and feeling as if it is an effort to breathe. Let me read that part again. Feeling as it is an effort to breathe. Positive ions. But then you can associate those positive ions with when, like for me, I know when I drive up towards Reno area, those winds, that's a lot of heavy positive ions. I don't like that. That's like, ooh, it's too much. And another way that they describe it is like the Santa Ana winds of California. Those winds. But when you have the negative ions are about feeling relaxed. It's auxiliary. It's the feeling uplifted. It's feeling clean. It's feeling majestic. It's feeling beauty. That's why we like it when after it rains, it's like it smells good. It feels good. A thunderstorm cracks away all the debris and it brings things in and it makes everything so brand new. That's why we like the negative ions. Salt lamps in your home. That's why we like the salt lamps. So here's my take on something. I tried this last night because, you know me, I got to play around with frequencies and stuff. Never a boring moment in my place. Trust me, never boring. No. So I said, okay, if we're dealing with an overload of positive ions, and we're having a lot of positive ions, then I need to bump up my too much positive ions in my home or around me with some negative ions. I need to mist the hell out of everything. So I have plenty of my rose water, and I like this one because it's made by Edgar Casey, and there's a certain way that they make it vortex-wise that gives it a really higher frequency. So I like taking and misting this all over the place, misting it. And last night, because of all the stuff that's happened in my room, because of all the, the hole in the ceiling, and now, trying to deal with that. And I just really wanted to lay down in my bed and I wanted to get some rest. So I missed the hell out of my room. I had my salt lamp on so that all the little stuff that was going on energetically in the too much overcharge of the positive ions, you can tell when you're getting irritated, the dryness, especially if it's a lot of heat, your eyes, irritation, dryness, you can't get enough water in, uptaking that water like crazy because as it's hot, as the radiation of the sun energy is going up, it's just really bringing in those ions. So, and then taking and misting your whole place, misting with water at night before you go to sleep, sets your place up with those positive charges. Now, I say this because if you don't want to go out and spend the money on an ion machine that can do that for you, then you have another way to do it. Just become your own rain dancer, okay? Go make some rain up in your room, other than don't do it the way, like having a waterfall or something coming through your place, but spray the water, which is your negative ions, around to kind of discharge that. And then you can take it one step further. Say that if you don't have the rose water, take it one step further. Make some water with a piece of selenite in the water mister bottle. Keep these bottles. Don't throw these bottles away. Keep them. Put your selenite inside the bottle. Put your water in it. And then mist all around your place with the selenite. Then if you want to take it another step further, you can put black tourmaline in there. Put a piece of black tourmaline in. Maybe go a little bit further. You can put a piece of black obsidian in here and then mist it all around. When you use the black obsidian and when you use the black tourmaline, you are putting in the water molecules of shielding energy of EMF. You're using the essence of that to put around in your space. I like it because I'll make it rain up in here. Not the other way. Don't get me wrong. But I will put the selenite spray through my space, and it works. It is simple. It is easy to mist and spray your space so that you have those charges in the air. And when I say spray in the air, I mean up in the air spraying, not down like this. No. You want it up in the air so that it's mixing with those charges, and then it's coming down on top of you. Then it's imprinting in your space. Okay? So get started with it, especially since we're in July now and we're moving into August. Start with those ions. I'm not kidding. You're going to want to do this, especially at nighttime when you're laying down. You're going to want to do this. Okay? You just try it. Like I said, come on, try people. Just try it. Okay. My last info I want to talk about is about the sulfur. Oh, it's 7:07. I'm going to wrap this up. Okay. So the other day, remember I told you I went to Elliot's and I got a couple things and I flashed it up really quick what I had. So I took the soap out of this when I was taking my medicine bath yesterday night. And it smelled purely like sulfur. And I was like, okay, this is taking me right back to the moment of being in a mineral bath. Okay, I can do that. But here's the thing. When I did it, I had the sulfur and I washed with it. Sulfur is very cleansing. But here's the thing. It affects your etheric part of your aura. So it's helping you to break and to clear stuff off of your aura that's getting it out of there. So I love this. How the sulfur can activate your willpower. It strengthens you. It helps increase your metabolism. It helps to really strengthen your nervous system, clearing away cloudiness of the brain, eases up depression. That sulfur helps to make that movement of the lymph. It gets the lymph moving. It balances the male and female side of the body itself. But it's just really good in cleansing your etheric and physical body self. That's what I like about it. So with that being said, I'm going to hop off of here and finish smudging and putting some ion sprays into my space and changing my linen on my bed. I have to now because there's too many particles that were in the air that I have to do that with. But I want all of you to just really think about this, okay? We're all in this together. We're all holding up those who are trying to move past any kind of respiratory disharmony. I am not going to use the word COVID. I don't want to use that word anymore, or I don't want to use whatever word that they've been giving it that they use to create it. I want to stick with what Spirit has me dealing with is our breath, our disharmony in our respiratory system, our disharmony in our breath of life. We take breath of life in, to enter into this world, and we exhale out when we leave this world. I want you to think about that. We inhale in when we are entering into the world. We're taking that first breath in so you can let out that cry, because that cry is like, oh crap, I'm back down here. Who are you? Are you my parents? Oh God. What are we here to do now? What roles are we playing? Jeez. And then when we leave, we exhale out when we leave. We take that last breath. And I've been with so many people who crossed over, been there with the patients standing at their side when the family members couldn't make it, or some people just, they didn't want to die alone. And I wouldn't allow that. If I'm there and they're passing away, I'm there as they cross over. They exhale out. And when they exhale out, when they cross over, there's a change in the temperature in the room. There's always a pop sound when they're exiting, because they're breaking past the physical barrier, the veil. And there's always that lifted up lightness that you can feel when someone passes. So I just wanted to share that knowledge with all of you. So now I want you to think about what are the virus thoughts that you have going on in your mind about yourself. I need you to reiterate the love of self, those items that we went over, how to love yourself. Keep your vision, keep your passion, and stepping into that owning of what it is of your quantum life you're living, and having the gratitude behind that. And remember, we're not here in the Bsoulight tribe playing checkers. We're here to play chess. We don't want a pearl because we want the diamond. That's what we're after. The diamond of light of ourselves and our truth of ourselves. Okay? So be good to yourselves, get rest, drink lots of water. I love all of you around the world. Somebody from the UK contacted me. Thank you so much for your kind words. And be good to yourselves, people. We're not here to beat each other up, to be mean. We got enough going on in the world. You have to be a part of the solution, not the problem. Pick a side. Be a part of the solution. We do solutions here. We come up with a solution in Bsoulight. We don't create the problem. We get rid of the problem. Yes. All right. Oh, and by the way, before I close off, now I had to go back and look when I first started my YouTube channel, because I really wasn't being consistent with it. I started this sometime in 2018, back in the day. I can barely remember that. I don't know. I was just goofing off one time and I just started it. And now I look in one of my videos that what the hell is happening video that's on my list, where the guy cut out his face mask and he was going to fight it all away, and he has a roll of toilet paper around his neck. That video has gotten 85 views. Now, for some of you, you might be like, Felicia, you're low. Yes, I know that, but I'm just noticing how that video got all those views. And you want to know why I got all those views? Because I was laughing my butt off, and I got caught into my laughter and that craziness of what that man was doing. Sometimes we have to stop being so serious with ourselves and so serious with others, and learn to just step back and just kind of laugh at ourselves. Laugh at the silliness, because it breaks the energy. It raises your frequency up so that you are not constantly in this down energy fighting to stay up there. And remember, we're not surviving. We're now living. because it takes a force of energy to live. Surviving means you're fighting all the time. Think about that. All right, so thank you so much for your support on that video on what the hell is happening. 85 views. I'll have to do a video, or one day I might just load up the one where I went to Winco and how traumatized I was, and I had to sit in the car and talk about it. I have to find it. I think I got it somewhere, and I'll have to load it up because it was crazy. All right, everyone, have a great night. Thank you so much for being a part of Bsoulight. Like that button, subscribe, share. You know the drill. You can catch me on Priestess Michaela, Mekala 333 at Instagram, and also my Facebook page should probably be changing because I'm not feeling it. I really am not. I'm having more fun on my YouTube and my Instagram versus my Facebook page. I'm just, sometimes if you're not into something, why do it if you're not into it? I'm beyond that. I'm not, if I'm not into it, I'm not going to do it. Why? We spend too much time wasting on things that we put our energy towards that we don't like doing. So why do that? Do the things that you enjoy doing. If you're feeling it, you feel it. If you don't, you don't. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Okay. Anyway, I gotta go. It's been a long day. The ceiling is sealed up. They painted it. It looks like it never happened. It looks like it was just a dream. Yeah. Maybe it was. Was it real? Or was it Memorex? Anyway, gotta go. All right. Much love to all of you. Love to you out there in the UK. Bye.